Hi friends, Mindy here. I have an unboxing for you. This is my subscription to A House of Books. As you may or may not know, I am an affiliate with them. I will put my link down below in case you want to grab some of these items. They do have subscription kits every month that you can get, from a mini size up to a large, that have different various things: vintage papers, vintage book pages, fabric. They come in like fabric bags and different kinds of things. I think I have shown those in the past. I'll try to link a playlist of unboxings from them so you can kind of see what some of those types of things are. But this time they sent us a few different items, and one of those that I want to share with you today is this kit that's called Crafting with Books. So this is basically a sampler pack of paper. So it's going to have book parts in it. You can see it comes in this paper bag, which I've already taken everything out of it. It was wrapped really cute with some baker's twine. And anyway, so it's got some book pages, index papers, title pages, front pieces, end papers, book boards, bookbinding scraps, and dust jackets. So just a little bit of sampling of everything in case you're maybe just getting started with using kind of vintage books or ephemera in your art. It's great for crafting or journaling. On here it says collage, mixed media. You can use it for all of those things. So I just kind of want to go through just what's in this this particular package. This is, I believe it's like around $25 on the website. If you use my link, that will save you a little bit when you shop. And it will also save you on a subscription. If you decide that you really like having some of these things kind of sent to you every month, you can sign up for one of the subscription kits and you get a bunch of vintage ephemera plus other things in those kits. So the first thing in here are some book spines. These are really fun if you want to add a lot of texture. They make great little clusters. They're just literally just the spine of a book that's been kind of torn apart. And keep in mind, with the House of Books, they're really kind of reclaiming books and saving them from landfills. So a lot of the stuff that they use are books that maybe people would just throw away or whatever. And so doing this way and using it in your art and using it for those kinds of things just repurposes it. It recycles it, so it's not just ending up in landfills. So don't be too heartbroken that there are spines in here. They're actually just a lot of fun to use. I have a great big bag of them. But anyway, so you get a little sample of book spines. Then this is a dust jacket from a book. I'm trying to see if there's a date on it. I don't see a publishing date on it, but anyway, so there's a little dust jacket. Excuse me. I have some hymnal pages in here, and the great thing about this is they're different sizes of paper, but they're also different patinas. So depending on what you're kind of looking for, if you really want a really aged look, or something that's like, this is just a bright white one. So I would imagine this is probably a newer book, and then you have some of your older hymnals. You can kind of tell even by the font and stuff on them. And then I have just some like dictionary pages, just regular pages, and you can see they all have different patinas. This almost feels like it might be rag paper. It's really thicker paper. That looks like it's from a play. This is like an end page. From the front, I have some maps. These look like they must be from the back of a Bible, because these are biblical maps. Anyway, there are some table of contents pages. So, and one thing, if you're not interested in using, like the table of contents page, whatever, remember that you have all of this open area. And so especially when you have one that has like a really good patina on it, you can stamp some of your vintage stamps, especially, and if you have any Tim Holtz stamps or anything that looks kind of collagey or vintagey or whatever, and then you have your vintage paper already, so your stamping is just going to look that much more vintage, if that makes sense. That's what I will do a lot of times with these kind of end papers. So like you could stamp all over the back of that and then have just some aged paper. There are some index pages. These are great, especially if you do like mixed media art or art journaling, collage, that kind of thing. This just gives you like visual texture in the background without having to do anything. You just can layer it down. These are also good if you want to do like master boards and that kind of stuff, and then you can kind of cut them up. There's a lot that you can do even with just index pages, but I do have some of like the end pages. So I have a lot. These are kind of what I was talking about, title pages that are they're just blank. This one, has the title of the book, but you can definitely take some of those vintage stamps and stamp on there, and then you have a very vintage look because your paper is already distressed, basically. So there's a lot of those in varying sizes. And then here are just some lighter patinas, some white ones. So again, these are, you know, papers that are kind of being salvaged. So these would be great, these in particular right here, because they're just a little bit heavier to, like, I'm thinking of the Tim Holtz tickets. These would be great stamped on here. And then there are a few pages that are colored, you know, just depending on how the book is bound. Sometimes those end papers are colored. And then these are really aged, these would be very cool for those tickets as well. And then there's one that's like a little map. I love anything with maps on it. And then here's a few other pages. This is from a reference library. And some of the paper, like the texture of the papers is really fun too. So here, this is like an index and title page. That's basically what these are. And again, this big open area, you could even use this just as a substrate to do collage work on, or to create a master board on. So don't, you know, especially some of these ones that are just, they're a little bit thicker than like just a regular paper, but they're not cardstock thick. So when you're creating for an art journal or whatever, it's just a nice weight of paper as well. This is something that was typed up. This is like a schedule for a performance of The Sound of Music. I can't tell what year, but that must have been like in one of the books. And then there's the score page, like the title page for the score of The Sound of Music here. And then just a table of sound correspondences. This is kind of cool. But again, this would just create like some really cool like visual texture in an art journal, especially, or a collage of any kind, really. So those are all kind of the book pages. And then I also get in here book boards. So this is from like a encyclopedia, it looks like, and 1954 annual. The spine it's coming off just a little bit here, but this is big. Like this is a 2-inch spine, and then you have the book board. So you could certainly create a journal with this, or you could cut out this spine piece and then you could kind of adjust how big you want your spine to be. So that is everything that comes in it's called the Crafting with Books kit. And so you get all of these things inside there that you can create with no pressure of, you know, having to feel like you're tearing up a precious book or whatever, because we're saving them from landfills this way. So now I want to get into some of the other things that were sent. There are, let me just pull everything out of here. They have been doing some like reproduction of some of the vintage items that they're finding, and they're digitizing those. So sometimes you can get, you know, digital like prints that you can print out yourself at home, but they also have these are some cards that they've made that they have digitized, and they're based on you know, vintage items that they have found, and they're double-sided. And so you can kind of see there's like some vintage ladies, probably from an ad or something, and they're just kind of collaged in here. So you could use these in collage, you could use them on the front of a card, or anything like that. I really like this one. So that's those. And then there are some vintage pieces from the Glass Company. That is not the right name. What is it called? Glass Paper. Sorry, Vintage Glass Company papers. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so this is like a check, I guess, that hasn't been written, and then this is one that was. This is May 29th, 1937. You can see back when they used to punch them. That's really fun. And there's an invoice here, just some various notes. There's a little note on here, and then there's some stamps. This one is really cool. This is November 7th, 1898, which is pretty awesome. Glassport Land Company. I just love the the handwriting. It's just awesome. And then there's like a little ledger with this on there. This is for the land, I guess, some kind of land. I can't really make out much of the handwriting, but it's pretty. And I love this ledger. So $10,000 back then, that was, you were talking a lot of money. This is March 7th, 1899. So that's pretty awesome. Love those. And then I also got, they also do have vintage fabric. And you can, they're kind of adding vintage fabric all of the time. So what they sent me this month actually is this like placemat. But this is one of those vinyl ones. And so this is actually really fun. I'm going to try to do some coffee dyeing with this. So you can use these if you want to do coffee dyeing, and it will, the stain of the pattern will stain into the paper. So that will be fun. I'm looking forward to using this to coffee dye some paper. And then I just have a little bit of random assortment of some other papers and stuff that you might find in a subscription kit or in some a la carte things. I know like last month we got some like vintage ledgers and that kind of stuff. So these are just kind of some ads. It looks like from some magazines. Really fun. Here's some more index pages. Again, these are great for just background and just kind of giving visual texture. Here's some like black and white botanicals, some text, some ads, some more ads for a new typewriter. That's pretty cool. Yeah, just some more ads and papers. And then this one, it looks like it's got some poetry on here, and then advertising for an iron and Campbell's soup. This is Good Housekeeping magazine, September 1929. So a page from that. So just fun variety of things. These are kind of, you know, some of the items that are similar to what you would get in the monthly subscription kits. And again, there are minis of those, small, medium, and large. And depending on kind of which one you pick, depends on not only the size of the papers, but what is really included. So anyway, I just thought I would share all of these fun things with you. You'll probably be seeing me including them in some upcoming projects. But again, I will put my affiliate link down below. That will save you some money at checkout. Again, if you want, you can grab one of those Crafting with Books kits and get started with some vintage papers. If you want something that's just delivered right to your door every month, you can sign up for one of the subscriptions, and you do save off that first month of that as well using that link. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. If you like this video, I would appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And until next time, bye.